Here's Charlotte Bredahl of the United States from Slovang, California. She's 35 years old, began riding at age 7 in her native Denmark, and over the years she's rode jumpers, and dressage horses, and even raced trotters. This is a 10-year-old Dutch warm blood, Monsieur, better than 17 hands high.
You'll notice that the ring has been recently dragged. In between every 4 or 5 horses, the crew comes in, drags the ring, and re-rolls the center line. And speaking with Charlotte after she rode, she said she actually prefers going just after the ring has been prepared. The judges can see exactly her marks, her tracks, and tell whether she enters on the straight line and how even all of her movements are.
She came to the United States in 1979, did Charlotte Bredahl, and specialized in dressage since that time. She imported this horse from Denmark in '87. Spent over a year hand walking him.
He's actually very spooky. His nickname is Moose, and when she came in the ring just before we picked her up on camera, he actually spun around and bolted towards the outgate. Charlotte had to get everything together and get him on past the judges. Now she's going to complete a pirouette at the walk to the right. The horse's hind legs must stay on the mark, not walking the turn, but actually his hind legs must stay active but stay in their tracks as his front legs step over and across. So far, her test has been obedient, with a lot of quality. The left half pass was what Charlotte felt was the weakest part of her test. You can see a bit of irregularity in his step. Many of the horses look almost lame as they perform the half pass. The forward and sideways movement is difficult for the horses to maintain their cadence and regularity in their step. And the half pass to the right is an improvement. The horse may lead slightly with the forelegs, and they want to show lots of bending in the head and the neck in the direction of the movement. Charlotte and Monsieur look very calm and relaxed, and so far quite an accurate, obedient test. Lovely extended trot. See the freedom from the shoulder, and he is also very powerful with the hind legs. And right into the passage, an elevated trot in slow motion.
That's one of the 3 Ps.
The most important parts of this dressage test, the rider saw the 3 Ps, the pirouette, the piaffe, and the passage. Those are the movements that get the extra score, or coefficient of 2, meaning there's actually 36 movements in the dressage test, and the judges score from 1 to 10. The piaffe, the passage, and the pirouette actually have a score of 20, or a coefficient of 2, as the way that they are ranked as are more important than the other movements.
There are 36 movements in Grand Prix competition, which is the format for this team dressage event here in the Olympics. And dressage is a word, of course, that comes from the French. Dresser, or training, is what it means, and the training that goes into making the horse and rider combination perform like this is long and arduous.
This is one of the most important parts of the test, this series of loops here. The passage to the piaffe, the horse must perform between 12 to 15 steps of piaffe, and then right into the passage, which we see here. You will come back to the center line and perform the piaffe again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must perform between 12 to 15 steps. She's a little late moving off into her transition. Got a little bit stuck there at the end, but quite good.
While working mostly on her own in recent years, Charlotte won a USDF bronze, silver, and gold medal over the years, and she does get some help from 2-time Olympic veteran Robert Dover, who you'll be seeing a bit later on.
and also is coached by Rabine, who is also the coach of the Swedish team. Has been helping Charlotte and Robert here. Here we see the series of half passes at the canter, 6 strides in each direction with a flying change of lead. Now across the diagonal and extended canter. Charlotte doesn't show a lot of extension here. In a pressure ride in this situation, it's a bit risky to go all out, but Charlotte could have shown a bit more extension, but there was not a mistake made there. She's playing it safe. Pirouettes to the left. The horse should make between 6 and 7 steps in the revolution. Flying change of lead in the center, and preparing for a pirouette to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's considered a perfect pirouette at 6 steps. 7 is okay. Less or more than that would incur some penalty points.
She picked up a lot of experience in '91, competing in Europe with the assistance of the United States Equestrian Team Training Grant. First in the Grand Prix Musical Freestyle in '92 earlier this year in Copenhagen.
Now we'll see the flying changes of lead every stride. Horse should do exactly 15 changes, finishing on the left lead. Beautiful changes. Besides the 36 individual movements, there are 4 collective marks at the end, which are also of coefficient of 2, 20 points for each. The judges score on paces, the horse's freedom and regularity of movement. Secondly, on impulsion, his desire to move forward and the energy in his step. Thirdly, on submission to the rider, response to his aids. And fourth, the rider's position and seat and the effectiveness of that. Down the center line, the final halt, back 6 steps forward in passage, into the piaffe. Transition back to passage to a halt in front of the judges' stand.
The president of the judges, Wolfgang Negli of Switzerland. Well, the crowd here enjoyed this performance by Charlotte Bredahl of the United States. And Melanie had a chance to talk with her after the performance.